Well, welcome back, everyone. We have Paige Jones here with us from Oceans Behavioral Health. How are you doing this morning?
Wonderful. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So, of course, as we close in on back to school season, of course, here at News Shelton, we talk about, the back to school supplies. We talk about, the tax-free weekends and everything like that. But sometimes I feel like maybe we don't talk about as much as getting mentally prepared for the new school year. But that's where you and Oceans Behavioral Health come in, talking about the anxiety and the stresses and everything that comes with a new school year. So tell us just a little bit about kind of how you help folks through stressful situations as you get ready for the new school year.
Sure. Oceans is a hospital, and we have both inpatient and outpatient programs. We only go down to age 30 for inpatient, but we have a whole bunch of kiddos that we see in our outpatient program.
Oh, okay.
And so for the last year, I've been helping run the program for teenagers and getting them a little bit healthier mentally and prepare for whatever they need. We work on coping skills, we work on learning how to communicate better, which
That's big.
probably
That's
any of
big.
us need that, but
Well, sure.
especially teens. So
Well, I want to ask you, going back to school, my kiddo has already said, we have 3 days, we have 4 days, we have, and I think with them, we have partied down all summer, but getting back in that schedule, I think it gives kids a little anxiety.
sure, and parents too, probably.
Yeah.
Anytime that we have a transition, it causes a little bit of stress on our brains or our bodies and stuff like that. And so we definitely want to prepare for a transition. One of the tips I always give parents is to start talking about the positives of school. So to say, oh, remember last year when you met so-and-so and they were really helpful?
Right.
Or, hey, do you remember that field trip you went on? That kind of thing. Just to start, it puts in the brain some of the positives, because they're already thinking about the have to get up early and all of that. But you want to start positively talking about the transition, even though sometimes for the parents it's a little tough too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that from the parents' perspective. Of course, something we've talked about a lot here at News Shelton is that new law here in Texas, of course, the no cell phones in school. Many layers to that issue for sure, but it does cause a little anxiety in its own way if, of course, parents not necessarily being able to reach their kids like they were before. I mean, what are you seeing with that?
Yeah, at Oceans, when the teenagers come in, one of the things that we have a fight about every time is we take away their cell phones.
Okay.
And so we've been doing that for a year, and they're there a much shorter period of time than they are at school, of course. But the parents sometimes stress out about that too. What if something happens? What if they need to get a hold of me? What if, an intruder comes in or something like that? And they tend to get really worried and stressed about that. Now, of course, we're a hospital that's on pretty tight lockdown, but school is a little more fluid, and so I think sometimes they get worried about that. But there is a lot of studies about how much less anxious kids are when they have less time with their cell phones. And
Really?
there's way, way fewer behavior issues when they don't have their cell phones to kind of cause that distraction and that extra stressor on their brains and stuff like that. So it does tend to help out, but I can see why a lot of people get anxious, and I've had many a kid tell me that their life is over because their parents took their cell phone away.
Really?
So,
Really?
yeah, because they feel very connected.
Well, what do you, how can we get, I want parents to know there are phones, you and I were talking about this, there's phones in the classroom now.
Yeah.
And there's ways, but I know the way that our world is,
Yeah.
parents would be concerned.
Sure. I mean, we live in a world where if somebody doesn't text you back in 10, 15 minutes, it feels like they're rejecting you sometimes.
Right.
And
But they're not.
no. And sometimes they're busy. I mean, if you're not replying right now, well, you happen to be on TV right now.
Right.
So,
Right. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
so it's helpful for us to remember that, but it does feel that way sometimes, right? And so, of course, parents, they worry about their kids all the time. I'm 42 years old, and my mom still, you know, if I go somewhere and drive at night, she still wants me to check in because she worries, right?
Right.
Parents worry. And so if parents aren't hearing from their kids, like in every class period, sometimes they get really stressed out. And I can understand that, but at the same time, I do think that there are both the pros and the cons of
Sure.
the new law, and it's just something we've got to deal with now because it's just what is.
Right.
So, and that's something we talk with groups about is radical acceptance, learning to accept things that we don't like. But you know, we have to all work together on that.
Sure.
On things like this.
Would you let us take a break and come back and visit a little bit more
Absolutely.
about this subject? Because I think parents, I think this is some good info.
Wonderful.
Let us take it back and come back.
Perfect.
Okay, stay with us.